This is Gabrielle Victoria. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in this week. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you're subscribed because we are only 3 subscribers away from hitting our first milestone of 100 subscribers. So do me a favor and make sure that you are subscribed if you're watching, okay? Secondly, this is going to be a different kind of episode this week. Not your typical sip with a tip, because there's no sip. I'm having one of those weeks and we're gonna get into that. But this week there is no sip. One, because I just did not have one for you. And I ran out of ideas, if I just have to be completely honest. And I didn't want to just put some old janky drink together. So if you have an idea, if it's a drink that you think I need to feature, let me know, because I sure enough ran out of ideas. I'm not a bartender. And I was just coming up with them off the top of my head, y'all. So I don't have one for y'all this week. I do apologize. This week, we're gonna have a check-in. It's just gonna be a conversation, almost like a video diary. I'm gonna tell you guys where I've been, what's been going on with me, what I've been working through. And I would love to hear you guys' feedback in the comments. Talk to me, let me know what's going on. If you know me personally, you can message me. And I take all of that and I put it into my videos. And so I'd love to have the conversation and start the dialogue for what our topic is today. Our topic is comparison. And most of my audience is in our 20s and our 30s. And that has been quite a time. What a time to be alive in your 20s and your 30s, especially this year, 2020. But what I'm noticing more and more is becoming this trend of comparing your life to what we see other people are doing. In our 20s and 30s, people are what? Buying their first houses, building new homes, getting engaged, getting married, having children, expanding their families, starting their businesses, killing their milestones, like just surpassing their goals. And that's really amazing. It's great because this generation, more than any other generation in the past, is starting younger. And we're able to do more because we've accomplished so much at a younger age. But there's also that added pressure that if you're 26 like me and you don't have a husband yet, or you aren't with children and haven't bought your first home, that you may be behind the 8 ball. And I know a lot of friends that we've been talking about it in group chats, like there is the pressure from either our parents or our peers where it's like, all right, what are you doing by the time you're 30? What have you done? And it's like, hold up. That mentality of I have to have it all by a certain age is so toxic. It is so detrimental because it adds the unnecessary pressure. And it forces you almost to like compare your life and then put your life on fast forward instead of just enjoying the progress, enjoying the journey, enjoying the pace of where you are supposed to be, because you are where you are supposed to be. So that's what I want to talk about today. And I want to be very personal, very transparent. This is almost like I told you, a video diary, but just a checkpoint, just to see where we all are at. A lot of y'all have been with me from the beginning of my YouTube journey, and the topics that I've chosen to talk about each week have always been personal to me. But this week is kind of like that midpoint in the middle of the semester where we all just kumbaya, review our lessons before we, go into the next era of our journey. So the first thing I want to kind of tackle is this idea of comparison. And I've heard, and you've heard, the quote that comparison is the thief of joy. And yes, it sounds cliche, but it is so very, very true in the sense that the energy that we take to look at other people's lives, who's gotten married, how many kids they have, what house they have, what job they were able to start, how much money they were able to save or make, the time that we spend looking, gazing, scrolling, talking about is time that we're not dedicating to ourselves. And I don't want you all to get confused with not celebrating other people, because I think we should absolutely celebrate our peers who are just killing the game and knocking down their own goals. But don't frustrate yourself and beat yourself up for not being able to do what they did when they did it, because you don't know what they did to get there. You don't know, what they deal with when they go home at night. All you see is the segment of life that they posted on social media. or the segment of life that they're in right now. It's like a vacuum. You see where they are right now in their life. And you have to remember, you are your own special person with your own special set of skills on your own timeline. God has his own purpose for your life. And to compare yourself to someone else is almost like driving in another person's lane. And they always say, oh, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. But here's an analogy for you. I have road rage. And if you're like me, you can definitely attest to this analogy. I have road rage. And if I'm in a lane and I see you putting on brakes and I see my lane is starting to get congested, you better believe I'm going to the next lane. And I will dip and turn all throughout the lanes of traffic until I feel like we are broken up and I can break free. But the way that is, the way that applies to life is, if I am in my lane of life and I see that it's getting congested, i.e. lack of inspiration, lack of creativity, maybe I feel stuck, maybe I feel trapped, maybe I feel just blah, limbo, like nothing's happening for me. I feel like I'm in traffic. I go to the next lane instead of just letting it work itself out. You know, I'm always looking over, okay, that lane looks like it's going faster. Doop, 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 and I'm getting over. And you can't always look over in someone else's lane to see, are they moving faster than you? Because you don't know what traffic is up ahead in their lane. You don't know what traffic they just had to sit in for 2 hours to get through their lane. And so sometimes you just need to literally stay in your lane. And that, it makes so much sense to me, because I know in road rage, I am quick to go hither and thither. And sometimes I'm like, darn, I should just stay in my lane because now they're moving faster. So tip number one, if we have to have a tip, is that idea of literally comparing yourself and not honoring your own journey and your own timing and your own bubble, your own lane that God has allowed and created just for you. Like, he designed that lane with his own set of obstacles that were set just for you, because he knows your strengths and your weaknesses and your buttons and all of that. So he designed your lane specifically for you. So you start driving in someone else's lane because it looks easier. Well, those obstacles in that lane were not designed for you. They were designed for the person that's driving in that lane. And that's why it may look faster at that point where you're at from your viewpoint, but you don't know 2 miles up ahead, it's gonna get real backed up and you're not gonna be able to drive through it because you're in the wrong vehicle. Analogy for that wasn't your lane. God didn't give you those set of skills. So, didn't mean to get too churchy on you, but that has been where I've been in the past few weeks. My mindset has been like, yo, I just have a best, well, I can say it now because I think she's announced it. I have a best friend that just got engaged. I have other friends that have gotten engaged, friends that are having kids, a lot of friends who are buying their first homes, a lot of friends who are starting businesses and killing it. And yes, I've started a business, and yes, I am doing well by other people's standards, but for sometimes my own standards, I am behind the 8 ball. And I have things that I want. I want to be married. I want to have children. I want to buy my first home. I want to, be a homemaker. I want to start this business and take it global or take it regional or do, have different milestones. And I'm like, yo, what am I doing? I'm still doing this. I'm not driving in my lane. I'm looking at what everyone else is doing. So be cognizant of that, my friends. Be cognizant of that, because you don't want to veer out of your lane into oncoming traffic, okay? Secondly is the idea of friendship. I am really becoming more and more sensitive to the necessities of human connection and the human interaction. Coming from your local introvert, COVID has really taught me a lot about my own introvertedness. I can turn it on and off. Like, I'm an ambivert, really, because I know how to be extrovert in social scenarios, but I recharge and rejuvenate on my own. Like, I don't need to be around a whole bunch of people. Like, I honestly don't like to be around a whole bunch of people. You're not gonna catch me at the brunch on Saturdays and Souls on Sundays and Wind Down Wednesdays. Like, that's just, you're not gonna see me out and about like that. I may hit one a month. But like, I'm just not a social butterfly like that. And the way that plays negatively is because there's a part of me that does feel very lonely when I want to vent, when I want to just like throw off some ideas, when I want to just let my hair down and laugh and have a good time. I have to work harder to like reach out to people because I don't have like an ongoing social circle. Like I have to like wake up some friendships and be like, hey, how you doing? What's going on? How you been? Long time no see. You want to hang out? I know it's been 6 months. I'm good. You good? Let's go get some drinks. And it's like, okay, girl, you need to be better at maintaining relationships because just like you need somebody to grasp onto every now and then, they need somebody too. And you can't just pop up when you want to pop up. So that's also a reality I've been I don't want to say struggling with, but I've been working with, facilitating and maintaining stronger and healthier relationships with my friends, and making sure that I'm extending myself as well, and not being such an introvert that I'm like lost in the sauce in my own little bubble and forget about the people that I'm gonna need one day, just to laugh and just to be there for me. And I want to be there for other people too. Like I do. I want to be the friend that you can rely on. That like I can call up at any moment. I want to invite her over. Like let me call Gab because Gab gonna make me feel better. And there is a joy, a reward, a fulfillment almost when you have those types of friendships because you've worked to maintain them. And I have to remember that. Sometimes I love my introverted. I love being by myself because I'm an only child. I'm raised to be by myself. Sometimes I love it so much that I forget that I legit need people. Yeah. And then I become lonely and I'm like, dang, I ain't got nobody. But you ain't got nobody, girl, because you don't be reaching out to nobody. You just be in your own little world. So yeah, that has been, I guess, number 2 is human connection and making sure that we are maintaining and facilitating those healthy relationships and being a good friend and making sure that you're reaching out. Okay, let's see. Finally, is discerning whether or not it is time for me to move to the next chapter, or is it that I need to be still moving? That has been another, and my final, I'll keep it there. That has been my final task of struggle, I guess you can say, is I've been so prayerful and quiet and just really trying to determine, is this like the ending of an old chapter and the beginning of a new? Or am I frustrated and like ready to move and I just need to be still? The difference between knowing when to be still and wait on the Lord and be patient for things to happen, or is this your push because he needs you to do something? He needs you to be active and he needs you to move. And so I'm in between that crux, you know, that's where I am. I definitely am like, I'm outgrowing this where I'm at. I've outgrown a few things and I'm like, all right, where am I going next, God? Should I stay here and wait, or can I just go ahead and jump on that? Because I think that may be the next wave. So being prayerful, not moving too quick, but also not staying too long. There's a fine line. You gotta catch it. Just like double dutch. You can't get in too quick. You can't wait too long. You gotta find the right groove, right rhythm, right motion. So that's where I'm at, trying to play double dutch with life. Get in there. So I hope this helps, y'all. I just was talking, I'm venting. It was a diary, but I know if anyone is feeling like the way that you feel, feeling the way that I feel, hit me up. Next week, I'll probably have some tips for you. But this was just a check-in. This is real. This is honesty. This is truth. This is reality. And if you're in your 20s and your 30s and you have been struggling with the whole comparison thing, relax, relate, release. Relax, relate, release. And do better with your friendships and allow God to tell you which way to go and be still so that you can hear his voice. All right. Love you guys. Help me get to my 100. So go ahead and subscribe, share this video, and I hope to see you guys next week with some better sips and some better tips. But if not, I love you guys all the same. And I hope you love me too. Ooh, I know. Okay. All right. Bye-bye.